What's good, guys? Kerpaul here today, and we'll be looking at MkRR3's free-to-play Paladin deck. So for all who don't know, MkRR3 went from rank 25 to legend in 9 days with only this deck, which is pretty dang amazing considering this deck is so cheap and has no epics or legendaries. I'm pretty impressed and excited as I'll be trying my best to get to legend with only this deck starting from rank 21. I know that some people don't want to see that rank 21 gameplay, but I understand that you guys are already experienced enough to play this deck and just want to see some high level gameplay. But the main purpose of this is to at least show the beginners how to play this deck and how it works. I recommend that you more experienced players skip to later videos, as those will hopefully contain games with lower ranks and hopefully satisfy you guys. But you guys stick around too if you want, as that would be cool. Alright, so game one, we're against a mage. And so, versus a mage, what I like to mulligan for is definitely try to get the lower drops like mini bot and an Argent Squire. I mulligan everything in this game because you don't want Wolf Riders because they just get pinged, and Consecrates and True Silvers aren't so useful. So I mulligan and I get a Leper Gnome, which is alright. It's a good one drop, even if he pings it, it's okay. But okay, he actually arcane missiles me, so I guess that's actually value because he uses the card. So what was good was I got a mini bot and I play it. Mini bot is really good against mage because they have a hard time getting out of it. They can ping it, but it's really hard for a mage to deal with, which is why it's good. So, alright, so yeah, we're at rank 21, so I guess these guys don't have real decks yet, so he plays a Novice Engineer actually, but that's actually really good for me because right now I Divine Favor this and I draw 3, and that's pretty huge, so I can get that draw power, and so I just go face because there's no point in dealing with that Engineer. I'll make him deal with me instead. And so that's one thing that's really important when playing this deck, is knowing when to trade and go face. I'll get into more of this later, but you just generally you only want to trade when you can get basically value, and it'll be show more of this later. But so right here he pings. My mini bot gets rid of the shield, and then arcane missiles again, which I think actually wrecks my mini bot. Yeah, he actually wrecked my mini bot, so that's not good for me. But I draw muster now, and that's really good for me because muster battle is a really strong three drop card. It's essentially 3/7/4, giving you 3/3 bodies and a weapon that does 1 damage for 4 turns, basically. Really strong card. So he drops a water elemental, which is pretty good actually, but what I do is then I go for a Blessing of Kings. I think about dropping an Argent Horse Rider and just going to face, but I don't think I do. I actually I think I Blessing of Kings my guy and then go face because he's actually really low right now. Alright, so I Blessing of Kings my guy because that's probably the best I could do right now. And then I play my Squire, I think. Yep, I drop my Squire, and then right now I could trade with his Water Elemental or go face, but I just decided to go face because, you know, I suppose it's because his Water Elemental is not as big of a threat to me right now. He'll have to, since he's lower, I'm trying to make him having to respond to me, which is really a really important factor in playing this deck. You want to make people respond to you, because if you're responding to everyone, you might end up losing first, and that's really important. I have board control right now with my 4 bodies of minions, and unless he has like a flame strike. Well, it's turn 6, so you can't flame strike right now. But yeah, I didn't expect him to have Blizzard, but I guess if he had Blizzard, that would be pretty bad for me. But no, he just plays a secret, and I guess it's because you want to play around stuff like Blizzard and like swipe, consecrate, but you know, he played Novice Engineer, so I guess I just started to just flood the board and just go face. But usually you want to play around swipe and stuff like that, and Blizzard, Flame Strike, because you'll get your whole board wrecked, and that's not good. So okay, so his secret ended up being Mirror Entity. Got my Knife Juggler, which is fine because I just played my Squire, Horse Rider actually, and then my knife hits his Water Alley, which is awesome. Then I buffed my guy up, and then I actually traded the Knife Juggler, get rid of it because Knife Juggler is a pretty strong card, so I just trade with him and you just go all face. And I'm in a really good spot right now because he's almost dead with 11 HP, and I have an owl in case he plays a taunt. So yeah, he just surrenders. Alright, next game, guys. I'm versing a hunter this time, and so versus a hunter, I'm going second, but versus a hunter, Squire's really good with that Divine Shield, and so Divine Favor is not really that good because, especially if it's a face hunter, he won't have cards in his hand. But I end up keeping True Silver and Squire. True Silver because personally, when I play against a lot of hunters, they have True Silver just ends up being a really strong card versus a hunter because, you know, the heal, and you can like get rid of stuff with it, which is really strong. And so I get a Shredder back again and Abusive Sergeant, which is pretty solid. I have a pretty good hand, and so generally with especially versus hunter, you want to go for a Squire or just low drops, mini bot Squire, stuff that can trade with their minions and actually survive because they have Divine Shields, which makes it value. So I'm going second. I get a coin. So there's a lot of hunters going around nowadays. Back when I was playing a lot, it would just be face hunter, but this guy actually drops a boar. So, and he doesn't even attack, so that's actually pretty bad. But I just drop my Squire, and it'll be really good against the board because it'll be able to take him out, and my Squire will be alive because that's Divine Shield. So Divine Shield, for all who don't know, it you basically prevent a damage. You can it's basically a shield, and so he plays a hyena. Actually, suicides his board and gets a 4/3 hyena, which is pretty strong. But I have my Abusive Sergeant, which perfectly deals with this in my situation, and I drop a leper for more pressure. And so right now I'm in a pretty good spot too because I have 2 guys and it's only turn 3 for him. So I can't imagine Hunter having anything to deal with this. So he just Animal Companions, and so gets the taunt, which is pretty good for him. But I actually have a coin in the True Silver, which actually is really awesome. It's awesome actually because my True Silver can just take out the taunt exactly, and that's another reason why I keep True Silver. It's just good for the heal and just for damage. It's really strong. And so I could have either played the Shredder or the True Silver, but I went for the True Silver to get past the taunt, and it worked out really well. The only thing I can imagine him playing is Explosive Trap to get him out of his situation, but he didn't have it. He plays a Hound Master. I think this guy is trying to play a mid-range Hunter deck or something, but he doesn't have all the cards because it's pretty high rank. No one really has anything yet. But so I draw a Muster, and I have a choice between a Muster or a Shredder, but I can Muster and Blessing of Kings my guy, or I can just Shredder. But I think I end up playing a Shredder. Yep, I end up playing a Shredder and just going face, and I get rid of his. No, I guess you just go all face because versus Hunter, sometimes you just want to, if you have more presence than them on the board and more board control, you just go face and race them down because they'll have to end up responding to you, which is another. This is another example of why it's important to establish board control early. That's what I did. So now he's a lot lower HP than me. I'm at 28 HP, and he's at 18. And so he owls my shredder, which is okay, I guess, but it's okay. But it's honestly not the best move for him. But well, maybe it is the best move for him, considering the stuff he had in his hand. But he just tries to race me down, which is not a good idea because he's a lot lower. And so I just muster here. So I just I make another guy because I want to save my. I just go all face, but I make another guy instead of using my Blessing of Might because I want to save. I have Wolf Rider and a Blessing of Might to kind of surprise him with 6 damage. Oh, and by the way, I don't even have all the cards either. I'm using a Wolf Rider instead of 2 Arcane Golems. I'll make sure to get those Arcane Golems soon enough. But right now I'm just using Wolf Riders. It's 1 less damage, but it's alright, I guess. And so he just has a Cobra shot, so it's not very good in his situation. Because I have just a bunch of minions. He needed to play like an explosive trap or something, but I guess he just didn't have it. And so he tries to trade with me, but he realizes it's probably too late already. He's already too low, and he couldn't get rid of my minions. And so, yeah, I draw another Blessing of Might for that 9 damage. And so, yeah, I just freaking just wreck him here. Alright guys, so that was like my very first commentary type video for Hearthstone. But like always, let me know on anything I can improve on, whether I should explain things more, slow down, anything really. So I'll be making more of these videos and hopefully getting legend by the end of this month with only this deck. Any other decks I play will be on another account. And currently I'm only planning to make videos with the wins, but let me know if you guys want to see some good losses. And lastly, thanks for watching.